You have to do it. पागल तो बना दूंगा देश को.
It's been a while since we have done a Matlab Kuch Bhi episode, and I think the primary motivation for me to make the video was just the trapped Ravi Kishan social media algorithm I found myself in for the past few weeks. The man may just be the busiest actor in Indian cinema currently, and his quotes that give competition to Aristotle and Plato are all over my feed. Imagine being a member of parliament and being on every format of entertainment, from movies, shows, reality TV, and even memes.
Pehchan. Money follows, my brother.
Either the man is just iconic in every way, or he's just got the access to the best PR and manager. Anyway, while I slowly got over this trance-like Ravi Kishan spell, I went through possibly the most cringe-worthy sequences from movies for this episode of Matlab Kuch Bhi. You know, it becomes my prerogative that I not only share with you great movie recommendations, but we share the trauma of the absolute worst together, like a family. For anyone new here, in the new Matlab Kuch Bhi episodes, we shed light on the illogical, unintentionally funny, and regressive movies from Indian cinema, just to highlight that the makers of these films were definitely on something wild while coming up with such concepts. Many people tell me that a lot of the sequences are representative of a different time in cinema when sensibilities were dated. But the movies that I will be mentioning here will be a combination of the past and the present, just to highlight to you that the problem persists and has not gone anywhere. So here is Tried&Refused Productions with 5 shocking Indian movie scenes you won't believe were approved. Sapoot. A combination of actors that was hugely popular in the 90s was Akshay Kumar and Sunil Shetty. Both actors who were in their action prime and were not only individually killing it in movies, but the combination of them together in a film was something that the audience genuinely was hyped for. While a lot of people mention Waqt Hamara Hai and Mohra, a movie titled Sapoot is the one that really caught my eye, and it has to be genuinely one of the most unintentionally funny action movies. The consistent feature of the screenplay includes a family that takes the game of statue very seriously. Kadir Khan plays a rich man with a daughter and 3 sons that include Akshay Kumar, Sunil Shetty, and a mentally challenged Johnny Lever. The family does not take the game of statue lightly. If any family member somehow orders the act of being a statue, one must abide by it, no matter in which situation they are in.
Statue!
This is a weird family that is close to the point where it is borderline uncomfortable, absolutely smothering the sister with so much love that they want to ensure that she eats first from their hands. This is where one can still understand the abundant love they have for each other, but it borders on being excessive when Akshay Kumar deems it fit to spend time yapping with his sister-in-law Sonali Bendre on the night of his brother's Sohagrat. Absolutely baffled that his brother is not letting him spend time with his bhabhi. The entire premise involves an influential family, a gang war due to diamond trade, and conflict that arises between brothers as Sunil Shetty urges Akshay Kumar to join the police force. Shetty's business transactions are not coming under the radar of the authorities because now Akshay Kumar is in the police force, but his moral conscience kicks in, wanting to do the right thing now. This leads to a full-on brawl between the brothers in the house, which you all know can only be stopped in one way. The climax, however, is the clincher, something that sets in stone what an absolutely classic movie this is. Their sister gets kidnapped by goons and gets physically harassed. When the brothers come to save their sister, she gets so physically traumatized by what she has experienced that she attempts to end her life by jumping off the same building, only for the brothers to attempt to use the magic word that has always worked for them. The pure shock in the eyes of both Akshay and Sunil Shetty that the sister did not abide by the rules of statue this time still makes me laugh out loud. Tu meri, main tera, tu meri. A travesty that I want to tell you about just so you know what I experienced when I saw it on the opening weekend, and just an indication of how far the romance genre has deteriorated in commercial Hindi cinema is the Sameer Vidwan's directed film Tu Meri, Main Tera, Tu Meri. I mean, the movie is an amalgamation of commercial tropes borrowed from Dharma's own iconic filmography, but dumbed down and executed in such poor fashion that it makes you reminisce about the good old days versus witness to whatever this train wreck was. My biggest issue with the film was this incessant need to describe and present Kartik Aaryan as the sexiest character to ever grace Hindi cinema.
I'm sexy and I know it.
The man is presented, of course, with an introduction shot with YSL glasses, a Richard Mille watch, and we are to believe that the Dulhan is so speechless, so spellbound by Kartik's sheer hotness that she forgets about her own husband, who, by the way, she doesn't even recognize on her own wedding day. The consistent nature of Kartik being presented as a descendant of Greek gods himself is known to us, not because we can see it, but because Kartik tells us himself.
It's just a simple case of I'm sexy and I know it.
Even when he is not telling us, the film employs a middle-aged married woman to remind us on just how hot he is. The entire stick of this character being ogling and leching at Kartik.
But I want your
What?
mal.
A scene, however, that is etched in my memory is Kartik refuting that he is not any mama's boy who is not eligible by showing his ripped body.
Photoshop लगता हूँ ना. Look at these collar bones.
As Kartik poses without a shirt, we have Ananya Pandey literally licking her lips at the very sight of this beautiful man. It's as if the makers were convinced that we won't be able to buy Kartik as the sexy male lead, so they ensured that every female character is literally fawning over the man like Mawali gundas hollering at women in the street. The worst subplot of this movie is this compulsion that Ananya has in taking care of her father because of his sleepwalking condition that often finds himself in the hospital, and how this puts Kartik in a pickle as he wants to spend the rest of his life with Ananya. In a scene where his intentions are made clear, Neena Gupta, in possibly her worst performance in years, conveys to Jackie Shroff that the problem lies in him because he just isn't dying. The only catalyst that will allow Ananya and Kartik to live happily together.
या हमें आपको मरवाने के अलावा और कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है.
आंटी स्टॉप इट, आप क्या कह रही हो? आप पागल हो गई हो क्या?
No.
Ananya rightfully reprimands Neena Gupta, to which our mama's boy suddenly comes to the rescue. They tried their best in doing a poor man's Rocky and Rani situation here, but terribly failed as all the characters easily move past this argument and make amends. Bollywood has this trope that they should just let go of, and it's romanticizing the men saying that they see their mothers in their romantic partners, that they aren't just their wives, they are like their mothers, something that you may have seen in a movie like Theri and Baby John. But here I believe the makers integrate a dialogue that no woman wants to hear when she is getting proposed to.
Will you marry me and my mom?
Am I tripping, or is this the biggest ick on your special day? I guess he had already won when he offered something to a girl that she can never find in a picturesque location in Croatia. Ugly Story. This is a movie that still blows my mind on how it was approved, as it absolutely nullifies what it aims to shed light on. Its depictions of violence being counterintuitive to what it wants to tell. I mean, the movie aims to shed light on the atrocities one may experience if they end up marrying a psychopath, but the depiction of the abuse is essentially counterintuitive because the entire running time is spent on showcasing those acts of abuse. My heart goes out to someone like Avika Gaur because this movie made me so uncomfortable on just the sheer violence that she was subject to on screen. The film does a terrible job in highlighting why a character may have deranged or psychopathic tendencies. The movie alludes to this condition plaguing a boy just because the father was absent and busy with work after his mother's passing. The stereotypical trope of a wide-eyed child is showcased, playing with his doll, and we are to assume it is the ignorance of the single parent that led him to become this monster. When Avika's character loses her grandmother, her mama takes her to the city, and this is where her first cousin, this psychopath, this deranged loser, starts treating her like an object, replacing the role of the doll with this new toy that he can play with. Avika is subject to being cornered, grabbed, hit, and it does not stop till the conclusion of this movie. What is this movie even trying to shed light on or impart through its tale? We knew this guy was psychotic. The catalyst was not based on any psychological depth, and we are just to wait for Avika Avika to escape and just sit through 2 hours of just abuse. They also associate the unhinged behavior of this man with this rock tune in the background that just did not sit right with me. This attempt at showcasing the horrors of abuse are also represented with this badass rock BGM that is contrary to what the movie may intend. What's the most frustrating aspect of the film, as Avika in every step is trying to escape the marriage or run away, is that the mama, when told about his son's abuse, urges Avika to endure it, as this was the promise her mother gave to him that she will get married to her first cousin. This absolute psychopath. He also further states that if she doesn't get married to him, he may end up killing himself and the mama too, guilt tripping her into marrying this man and enduring months of abuse. Those who will defend this movie will cite its movie title, Jamie, what were you expecting? This was titled Ugly Story. Of course it will showcase the worst romantic storyline, and to that I have to say, the visual medium of showcasing acts of abuse can also be implied versus being showcased in its disturbing form from start to finish, because I believe such depictions also tap into this deranged mindset of associating with control that a lot of material anyway does. This is the reason why you will see the dynamic of obsession being so misinterpreted, why acts of abuse are circulated online as sexy scenes. It's why a highly controversial movie like Irreversible with Monica Bellucci is criticized, because acts of violence tap into sick tendencies when showcased with such graphic details. The Ugly Story offers nothing to be learned. It just presents a psychotic man abusing his wife and we are to just patiently wait till she escapes. It offers nothing in terms of how one reaches the depths of such a mental state, and in the process does more harm than good, in my opinion, to a population already so addicted to not safe for work material that has violent tendencies. Ray. I've seen my fair share of terrible Telugu movies, but I think what tops every list is the 2015 film titled Ray starring Sai Dharam Tej. When I tell you that a movie and its storyline seems like a fever dream, something that can only be deciphered if you were not in your senses, it is this film. A movie centered around a competition called The Best of the World. The villain is Jenna, a pop star who hails herself as the goddess of America. You know how I know this? Don't worry, she'll tell you whenever she comes on screen.
I'm the goddess of America.
She wants to win the competition the third consecutive time. So with her whipped lover Dange, she kills her competition. Dange is so obsessed with her that he killed his own godfather to please her. The photograph of this godfather is literally Marlon Brando from The Godfather.
जेना का बहुत बड़ा दीवाना है और उसके लिए इतना पागल है कि अपने गॉडफादर को भी जेना के खातिर मौत की घाट उतार दिया.
This is not a parody. This is a very serious film. The man killed by Jenna and Dange, Sayami Khair's brother, and she wants to avenge her brother's death by joining the same competition and winning. Now, how will she do that? She enrolls in the prestigious Bob Marley University in Jamaica, where she plans to perform with the troupe that can get selected for the competition. This is where she meets Rock, played by Sai Dharam Tej, who by the way sports different headgears throughout the film and only shows off his hair in the climax. It's absolutely wild the permutations and combinations of caps and beanies the man wears in the film. Rock is of course the most charismatic man you will ever meet. I mean, just hear the words of affirmation he uses for the opposite sex. Anyone will fall in love.
ऊपर वाले ने बड़ी मशक्कत के साथ तुम्हारी इस बॉडी को संसार में भेजा है.
वाह, कितना बढ़िया कॉम्प्लीमेंट.
The principal of this Bob Marley University is an Indian man whose secretaries are these scantily clad white women that just randomly roam around in the campus. These Indian men, even in West Indies, ogle and lech at the women, and foreign actors, I'm sure, had no idea what the travesty they had signed up for.
Hey, लड़की, you want लड़का? हिंदी थोड़ी समझेगी.
You Lilliput?
अबे मर गए, यहीं आ रही हो.
Rock first considers Sayami Khair not to be that attractive. He, however, later sees her in a swimsuit and gives her the weirdest analogy of why he is interested now.
पब्लिक के बीच जिस लड़की को देखा था, तब मैंने सोचा था कि उसके साथ मेरा पेंसिल और रबर का रिलेशनशिप है. जब शार्पनर से साफ करके देखा तो बात कुछ और ही है.
Rock isn't a man who falls in love with girls. He only likes their bodies. But just when he tries to get with a blonde babe on a yacht, the blonde gives him a reality check.
मैं इतनी सेक्सी होने के बावजूद, जब तुमने इतने करीब होने के बाद भी उस टाइम पे अमृता का नाम लिया, इसका मतलब तुम्हारा मन उसी के पास है।
Now he will do anything to make sure Sayami wins the competition and defeats Jenna. In a scene trash talking with Jenna, Rock's friends with each dialogue literally take the human form of background music. I could not stop laughing at them just jumping and slapping the cymbals after each dialogue.
दर दर भटकेगी जना, ये बंदा कितना कॉस्टली पड़ सकता है।
When Rock comes to America, Dange tries to assassinate him, only to see him being surrounded by security forces and the FBI, to which Rock had the best explanation of why this was plausible.
मैंने अपने फोटो का स्केच बनाकर मैं टेररिस्ट हूँ ऐसा कहकर एयरपोर्ट सिक्योरिटी ऑफिस में भेज दिया था। पहले पुलिस, बाद में इमिग्रेशन। मैंने बिल्कुल सही वक्त में अपनी चाल चली है। उसके बाद पूरी इज्जत के साथ वो लोग मुझे एयरपोर्ट से बाहर लेके आ गए। मैं टेररिस्ट नहीं हूँ, मैं मजाक कर रहा था। सॉरी कहने पर उन लोगों ने मुझे छोड़ दिया।
A hilarious part of the climax includes Jenna drugging Rock and placing him in a car so that he gets killed, only for the car to go over a bridge and sink. The assumption being that Rock is dead. Jenna tells this to Sayami in the most villain way possible, that Rock has been underwater for 2 minutes.
पानी में 2 मिनट डूबे रहने के बाद आज तक कोई जिंदा निकल पाया है क्या?
This makes Sayami laugh, and this is where the biggest twist comes. तुम जानते हो Rock कौन है? And guess what happens 3 minutes later?
3 minutes world record. आज तक कोई भी पानी में 3 मिनट तक सांस रोककर नहीं रह पाया।
I can't possibly tell you how bad this movie is. It genuinely is right up there as possibly the worst movie I have seen. Oh, by the way, Sayami stalls saying that she likes Rock till the very end, and Rock has the best solution to get it out of her.
अगर तुम मुझसे प्यार करोगी तो मैं भी जिंदगी में फोकस करने लगूंगा।
इतने दिन साथ रहने के बाद मुझे लगता है कि हमें लिव इन रिलेशन में रहना चाहिए। I love you.
A perfect lesson for any man who doesn't get the 3 magic words reciprocated to them. Ghar ho to aisa. For those who have seen the series enough, you know there have been classics that I absolutely hate. And I stumbled upon a movie titled Ghar Ho To Aisa starring Anil Kapoor. But I want to primarily focus on the character played by Bindu and Deepti Naval as the violent and oppressive mother-in-law and dutiful daughter-in-law respectively. I understand that movies are a reflection of the times they are set in, and I understand that women were instructed to be subservient in roles no matter how violent or toxic their environments. But pain or trauma को bear करने की एक हद होती है, and this movie crosses every line possible. When she stumbles upon a cup of tea being put on the floor, Bindu reacts this way.
तुझे नजर नहीं आया कितना बड़ा नुकसान कर दिया, कौन भरेगा तेरा बाप?
She is called by her husband to simply remove his shoes. When she gets distracted by the calls of her mother-in-law, the husband gives her these instructions that every wife yearns to hear.
मुझे कौन तेरा बाप उतारेगा?
When the daughter of the family puts her hand in a bucket of hot water, she exaggerates her claims, directs the attention towards Deepti, and Bindu deems it fit to dunk her entire hand in the bucket of blazing hot water.
तू इस पानी से नहा सकती है या नहीं कभी नहीं?
Deepti is instructed to get money from her house, come what may. Her mother is shamed and abused in front of her by her mother-in-law, only for her mother to assure her that she will find a way to get them the money. Deepti's mother, in the pursuit of getting the money, collapses at their doorstep after selling everything. The abusive in-laws take the wad of cash and treat the now dead mother this way.
तेरी माँ को मरना ही था तो कहीं और जाके मरती। छी 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 हमारी सीढ़ियाँ गंदी करती।
Even the husband has the gall to act in the most inhumane way possible. Deepti leaves with her daughter being instructed that this home will never be open to her if she leaves. The assumption is that Deepti and her daughter died in a car accident as Anil Kapoor, the only one who loves his Bhabhi and Bhanji, finds their clothes. The mother and daughter duo, however, were rescued by Meenakshi Shashadri. Anil Kapoor requests Meenakshi, who is his manager's daughter, to act as a married couple so that his mother and sister will get a taste of their own medicine. Meenakshi enters the home as the new Bahu and doesn't take that crap one bit, and Bindu and his daughter get visibly annoyed. What's absolutely wild is that Deepti's husband at the same time is trying to get hitched by a rich girl, and when he gets the same treatment as he used to act with his wife, he leaves the relationship.
डार्लिंग प्लीज जरा मेरे ये जूते उतार दो।
The fragile male ego at the slightest inconvenience runs away from a relationship, and when he is not treated like a king and he asks for forgiveness in a temple, the mother and daughter duo are witnessing their father repent for his sins, and they reunite with him because the fool learned from his mistakes. This is not even the annoying part. The entire family decides to leave Bindu and her house just for the years of abuse that they have endured. Even the co-conspirators, her daughters and son, leave feeling bad that they were influenced by her. Bindu, of course, begs for forgiveness, but the family leaves. So what is the solution for a woman who has spent years torturing her daughter-in-law?
इसका पश्चाताप तो मुझे करना ही पड़ेगा और इसका एक ही रास्ता है
Of course, it is to end it all. The father begs and shouts for the family to return, and Bindu gets saved. But what about the victim, Deepti Naval? What about the girl who was slapped around, who was physically and emotionally tortured, whose mother was shamed, abused, and who was not even allowed to do the Antim Sanskar for her own mother with dignity?
ये आप क्या कर रही हैं? आपके चरण धोकर पीना तो मेरा धर्म है।
आपके चरण धोकर पीना मेरा धर्म है. It's my moral duty to drink the water of your feet.
Don't make faces. Don't get angry.